So I'm continuing this video from the last one to give you some more tips about using this tracking system and how to use it effectively. So now that you've given both these links to folks on, say, Udemy, you're comparing one solo vendor on Udemy to another solo vendor on Udemy to see how they're doing. Or you could create it for all the solo vendors that you use on Udemy or wherever you use them, because you could create unlimited amount of subdomains in the Power Lead system without you're not paying anything extra for it. So you could definitely create as many as you want. But like I mentioned to you, just try and use this tip where you're making your subdomains, especially if you're using them for tracking. It starts out with a central kind of a letter, so you could keep all your tracking links in one spot and find them, kind of easily. So that's just a tip to creating your subdomains that you're going to be using for tracking. So I think we're both on the same page here where we left off. We created a subdomain here for, I think it was Stefan here, and I showed you how to put that in. So the thing is, now that your solo ad went out and you've gotten leads and people have opted into your lead capture page, it's like, now how do you tell which subdomain worked the best? So I'm going to show you where you go for that. You want to go under website here, under ad tracking. And this is where you'll see the subdomains you created, and when people opt in, this is where it's going to tally up your results. So you'll see that the two subdomains we created, the one called Zitra UJam H2, that's a subdomain that we gave to, I think it was Stefan, and the first one we gave to James H. So you'll see them both here. So I'm just going to focus on just those two here in the window. And I'm going to get this a little bit so you can actually see it clearer. So there we go. That's the number 2 one and the number 1. So if you look at this, whenever someone opts into this page here, you'll know that it came from Stefan. You could actually go into it, after you post it wherever you want to send these links out to. So if you want to give this to James, Stefan has number 2. You could rename this so you could tell where this is coming from. So we could go ahead and rename this. So we could modify the name here. So I'm just going to copy this link. So you want to copy the link. And I like to put things in a text file so I could, find them. So I copy the link there, and then I go ahead and modify the name. So if you modify the name, then you could tell the system exactly where, who you gave this to. So when it comes back, you'll know. So we'll delete the link there, and we'll say we gave this to, say this is a Udemy solo. We gave this to Stefan, T-E-F-A-N, and let's see, his last name was Linden or Lynn. We'll just make, you could do whatever you want, just so you know where it came from. So I could put Lynn, maybe put the date in here, 2017, maybe the date it went out, maybe the cost, how much it cost. Say it cost $38, and let's see, $38, and you got 100 clicks. So you could put in, enough information that when you look at it, you could tell what the solo ad was all about. And then you'll see that it's modified, so when you get all your clicks, you'll be able to tell. And then we're going to change it to a domain. So we could go ahead and just link it to a domain, so we could change it here. And we could go find that UJam H2. So I have a lot of them. And you could do that too, create different subdomains and give them out to different folks you want to track, and hit Save Changes. And you'll see that it populates with, this is a solo ad we get to Stefan, and you'll see that you have the link. So you could monitor whenever someone, use this link, you could say, oh, this one came from the solo ad from this person. And you could do the same thing for this one. This is you could go here and modify the name. And we could call that one, so you delete this one. Delete it, call it Udemy. This one was solo ad. but this one was with James, and this one was James Henderson, I think it was. And let's say this ad is going out 11, let's see, 23, 2017, and let's say the cost was, $46 and 100 clicks, and then you could modify it, and then that one will have the name, that this one is James, and then we could go find the link that we associated with this one, the one we gave to James, and that was JAHM, just number 1. Save changes, and that's it. Whenever you give these out, you could definitely monitor where they're coming from. So you can either reuse these if you want, and to reuse them, all you do is modify the name. Because if you're giving this link out, so let's say the solo ad with Stefan is all done. It's all done for this month. You're not going to advertise with him anymore. You kind of, gotten the information you needed, that his solo ad either didn't do too well. You're like, I'm going to try someone else. You could actually go ahead and copy this link and, do another solo ad with someone else. But what you do is you'd actually modify the name here. So you probably want to reset all your ad hits, so it goes back to 0, and then you just keep track of, this date I gave this out to so-and-so. And you could, write it down manually if that's what you want, or you could definitely create a brand new subdomain. Go back through the whole process, create a brand new subdomain for a different, find a different solo seller, create a brand new, let's say you wanted to use George Capo here, you could create a brand new Udemy solo link for just George, and then, go back through the whole process where that one is just for George. So you could create multiple ones, or you could keep reusing these. All you have to do to keep reusing them is just reset the ad hits. So if you hit reset ad hits, you'll see there's one. It's going to reset the ad hits and all the conversion to it. And then you could just change the name. We'll wait till the change. So you see it got back to 0. And so if you're giving this to, say, a different advertising source, totally different from Udemy, you could just change the name, change up here so it makes sense to you what you did with that link, and then you can monitor the hits that come in. So if you want to do this, on a daily basis, in terms of where this went, this is a one-time event you're having with these advertising sources, then you keep it that way. Now I'm going to show you some that I did. Let's see. You can see that I did a few. Because my trackers, I always start them with Z. That's how I kind of keep them in my brain. Those are tracking links I'm using. So I've created one for a traffic exchange. I've created one for a classified ad submission place I use that blasts out my ads. I created one for this fellow I used on Udemy. So I've created different ones to monitor different things based on what I'm trying to do, and some I've definitely reused. There's a couple in here that I've actually reused by resetting the ad hits, and I've changed the name of it and just give it out to a different one because I didn't want to recreate it. So you could do that as well. So this is, how you could split test your links here, your lead capture page links and your advertising sources to see which advertisers are getting you better results. Because as you can see, this traffic exchange here, it's not doing so well. So it could be an idea that maybe it's my link, my lead capture page that I'm using on this traffic source, or it could be something, maybe, this just arms you with information that allows you to tweak different things. So that's why you kind of want to use it. You can see that this is getting me a good response. Wherever I have this tracking link, it's doing pretty good. So that's what you want to do with it. Just track different things, especially in the beginning, to get a sense of where is your best advertising coming from. Because if you're on Udemy, as you know, there's plenty of people that you can use. And if you're getting results, you want to know which one's getting you the best results for what you're paying for. This way you could either reuse them over and over again or decide to try someone else. So it just gives you perspective in terms of what you need to do. So that I'm gonna keep the video right here. Just go back to the video to really learn the process of how to do the split testing, or pretty much how to track, which advertisers are bringing you the best results, and just do it a couple of times, and come back here on the website ad tracking, and you'll be able to see your ads listed based on where you've placed those tracking links. Who has those tracking links for you? You'll be able to see the activity that's happening on that site for yourself.